We're not bringing Rama, Krishna, Shiva as a playable characters. We also wanted to bring out those characters which is not known to people. Each character should be unique for the player to experience. Create that immersive experience. How will that world look? So here the victory is not about you winning the battle, but actually attaining moksha. Hi, this is Yash from Fifth Ocean Studios. You're watching me on Games Made in India series on IGN India. My first job was actually a game jockey. Back in 2000, my first job, or you can part-time or full-time, what do call this one. When I was studying CA, back in 2007 actually, I used to work in CFI as a game jockey, promoting basically Counter-Strike Dota. During that point of time, I was also a guild leader in a game called Ragnarok by Gravity. And we were on the top 10 guilds in India at that point of time. But yeah, but gaming was not considered a career at that point of time. Gaming was always part of the journey. We keep on playing games at home or PC or with friends actually. We still play Dota whenever we get a chance. We always had this thought was that why can't we get to play games based on our stories actually, our legends and heroes. Over the course of period of time, based on very fortunate incidents I can say, my journey into gaming started by me investing in mostly NFT and Web3 based games. At that point of time, we decided that, because we are investing in somebody else, why don't we invest in ourselves and create our own game and take this to this one. And because we are not game developers ourselves, let us scout for a co-founder in the game development process and maybe we'll try to work with them. My cousin, Teja, my other co-founder actually, he was a geologist. He was working in Uttarakhand. He was stuck in the forest area. He was doing tunneling and actually soil testing. He was stuck in the COVID point of time in the forest area, this one. So he decided to quit his job and completely shift into gaming. Then I met Rakesh, and I think they were doing hyper casual games for Amazon for the last 3 years actually. His vision also is to bring what should build on is we should bring the Indian lore and our legends basically into an immersive gaming experience. That was the idea for him as well. So I think all of visions aligned at that point of time. We sat down for around 3 to 4 months of pre-production at that point of time. We started with to start fast actually. We wanted to do a game which can immediately launch actually. We worked on a game, entire card-based game like Hearthstone, and we had the entire design ready and everything ready, and we planned to do this one. I think at this very same point of time, Kurukshetra Ascension did a announcement that they have raised funds, and when we got to look into it, it was 80% we can say it's similar actually, and they are launching. They are already in open beta as well. Why try to come in this space where there are limited number of players right now? Why try to compete in the same this one? Let us try different aspect of it. So then we came up with we thought to go with a multiplayer game. All the characters, all the heroes, all the races, what we have designed the same way, but instead of just card-based format, we are trying to bring them in a completely immersive 3D third-person perspective. We didn't finalize the name. Name was not finalized yet. We had the prototype already built and ready, and we had to come to we were planning to come to IGDC 2023 to showcase a prototype as well. So we needed a name actually. What should be the name be? So all the first characters what we have designed and we had ready was Devas races and Asura race actually. So we said like, okay, why don't we immediately go? One name which kept on coming to us was Devas and Asuras. Okay, let's go with Devas and Asuras. But we know that Devas and Asuras limits our scope of hero expansion. There are so many races in our stories actually. So you have Vanaras, you have Nagas, you have Yakshas, Gandharvas, you have humans obviously, you have Rishis, Apsarasas. So there are so many races with different abilities and different skills, each having their own traits actually. So to showcase all these races, Devas and Asuras name was limiting it actually. So, but we were not able to finalize a name, get on a name actually. So we went with that name, did all the content promotion, everything for that IGDC part. After I post IGDC, within 1 month, we were able to come with the name Ilavath actually. When we are scouting for names, basically, we want to see again, we have to go back to the books, read all the and find out what are the possible names mentioned in Mahabharata or Ramayana or Bhagavatam or different books actually. Then Ilavathi was one kingdom basically, or before I think our land was known as Bharatvarsh. They had multiple names actually, either in terms of Jambudvipa or different names actually. So Ilavathi sounded rhyming for us. Starts with an I, ends with an I actually. Ilavathi. And we have that name is copyrights are available. Nobody has used it yet in any other space. Seemed really good, but for global audience to pronounce it easily, Ilavati may be difficult. So we added the H instead of the I in the end of it actually, because most global games form this one. So to have better global reception, we added the H. So that's how I think Ilavath Battle Arenas started in this one. So we are bringing those heroes. When we say we are bringing heroes, we're not bringing Rama, Krishna, Shiva as a playable characters. They're more like godly being, gods. So this one in forms of blessings, in terms of this one. But that's this one. For the characters we are choosing those characters in terms of our lore also. Basically, Ilavath, basically what our storyline is that we have the concept of multiverse. The entire cosmic universe, basically, we are just one atom part of Vishnu actually. So the concept of multiverse exists this one. There are multiple writings, like for example, Kakbushundi is a sage who has come across Ramayana for 9 times and Mahabharata for 18 times actually, each with different results all the time. So the concept of multiverse is not new in that aspect. We wanted to take that angle of it and bring that into the gaming angle as well. So Ilavath is basically a realm created by the Trinity, where for your thirst for battle, if it is endless, you will be thrown into Ilavath actually. Only once your quest for battle has been completed, you will attain moksha. So here the victory is not about you winning the battle, but actually attaining moksha. So the entire the game progression, the level progression for players is designed in such a way is that how do you attain moksha. So that was our line also. The victory is not in the battle, winning the battles, but attaining the moksha actually. So that's Ilavath, the realms of Ilavath actually. And character design again. So choosing those characters which are lesser known to people, bringing those to the forefront and showcasing their characters. So even for audience, not just Indian audience and global audience as well, they get to see the endless amount of, for example, last time we showcased Gajasura. Gajasura is elephant-based king actually, and whose head is cut off and actually attached to Ganesh. When we showcased Gajasura on this one last IGDC, 95% of the people assumed it is actually Ganesh. But the character showcase is basically with the 6 packs, this one with the weapons, what weapons we have showcased. That question mark will be there. This is not how Ganesh looks actually. There's some change to it actually. So, but then we tell the story that no, this is actually Gajasura, whose head is basically cut off and they'll attach it to Ganesh. That's how Ganesh is formed actually. So that's the story lore. Not 95% of the audience don't know about that story actually. Very few actually come, because I come from the Telugu state, and here at Vinayak Chavati we basically tell a story every time we do this puja. That's this story is part of this one actually. We hear this story again and again, that how Gajasura's head was cut off and then attached to Ganesh. So like this, every state has its own story. When we brought in Holika, Holika is the sister of Hiranyakashipa and Hiranyaksha actually. Me as a Telugu speaking Telugu state actually, I didn't know about Holika. But when it came to I think North in Delhi or Bengal based this one, they were in Holika. They are aware of it actually. So even in India larger scale this one, lots of heroes are actually known only to certain segments of states because of the stories they have been listening to since childhood. So that's our concept. The stories we have been listening to childhood, bring those characters into gameplay and create that immersive experience. How will that world look? How will that environment look? And powered by Unreal Engine, how will that look actually? And how will that feel? Being that in that environment, how will that feel? As I told, I mean, like Indian, our stories basically are legends or this one. I tell them legends and stories because there are multiple books, multiple Vedas in this one. It's not just one single this one actually. So when we wanted to build on this, typically if people go into a movie, they normally go to Ramayana, Mahabharata, which is the most explored characters or this one. But we also wanted to bring out those characters which are not known to people. Those one-line words, one-line characters in these books actually, one-line words, and build story on top of that. What would have they done at this point of time? They could have been just a one-liner. For example, I think one of the inspirations for that is Mahishmati, which was used in Bahubali by Rajamouli. I assumed it was a name created by them actually. But then when I read Mahabharata myself, Mahishmati was a kingdom in Mahabharata which supported the Kauravas. So it was a kingdom. So he took that as a Mahishmati and built a world on top of that, and that became Bahubali actually. Mahishmati. So that was it. So for us, it was a very good inspiration for us. You know, we can take this one-liners, one words or this one books, and from that actually build characters on top of that. For Ilavath Battle Arenas, which is a team-based action strategy game with multiple heroes based on 9 races of Indian lore, each character should be unique for the player to experience. If you take examples of any of the team-based action strategy games like Dota, Valorant, or this one, the heroes, each story should have a background because everybody connects themselves to that hero actually. For example, for me in Dota 1 days, basically Barato was my favorite hero actually. So everyone will have that kind of a favorite character, favorite hero across for any game you play across. So it's important for a multiplayer game to have those stories, backstories, and also for an IP to actually create backlore and campaign modes on those characters. That was the concept. So that's how the entire concept of bringing. And currently, we are right now building a 5 vs 5 objective-based strategy game. But before going to that, we are starting with a 2 vs 2 game mode, and then expanding that to 3 vs 3, so that with the limited number of heroes we are launching with, there will be much more options for the players in the alpha stage to play with. As far as characterization, we were able to design up to around 8 heroes for each race, so totally 72 heroes for each of this one. Of course, in production pipelines, we'll have some difficulties with one, like for example, we are building Mahishasura right now. We have launched it in IGDC as well. So the ability is designed for Mahishasura because he's a shape-shifting ability. Kali Mata actually kills him. He's a shape-shifting buffalo. And also he can actually shape-shift into anybody else actually. So for us, basically what happens, ultimate ability what we have planned is that he can shift into any other character in the gameplay. So to build this ability itself, it took us huge amount of time. So that some characters are easier to build, faster to deploy, and some characters take time in terms of abilities, animations, or even modeling actually. So we have to find a balance in that aspect of it. So we have a demo already out in Steam actually. So we keep improving, we keep uploading new demos every Steam Fest basically. Whenever any fest happens, we keep uploading the new demos, more upgraded versions of it. We already have a demo right now, which we have displayed at Tokyo Game Show as well. We are part of the India Pavilion there, and which has 4 heroes on this one. In the IGDC, we basically launched the first LAN version with around 6 heroes. We have added 2 more heroes actually to that. And by February, Steam Next Fest will be launching with 10 heroes with an open server. So first time we'll have a server-based access gameplay with a limited server-based access gameplay. So where I think we're targeting around at least 10 heroes to be played with, actually choice of 10 heroes. The game mode is currently we are limiting it to 2 vs 2 and the 3 vs 3 game mode with the minions and all the aspect of it. You will have minions and other creatures to fight along with the defeating your opponents as well. It will be simple elimination based concept, because for the larger map or the larger this one to evolve, you need that hero balancing time. So even though we are working on that right now, we are not immediately pushing that outside right now, because we need this to be achieved to get good amount of quality and this aspect, so that we can actually do that. We are targeting for a early access alpha launch paid version with a Founders Collective Edition, wherein the early access user get access for lifetime heroes, lifetime OG skins and everything in June 2025 with around 16 heroes is the target. June 2025, which will be on Steam and Epic Store initially for PC. And we are also in pipelines in porting this to mobile as well. The Unreal Engine 5.5 is coming in right now, which has the mobile game dev separately. So we are working in some sidelines, very limited resource, because India is a larger mobile market. But the reason for us to go PC first was actually to take this game to the larger ASEAN markets, where the PC is larger. PC is larger in the aspect of it, and also India. So wherein we have we can achieve the quality in that PC, and then putting it to mobile and getting the game optimization is important. Immediate next quarter, we want to take a break of 2 weeks for my team from Ilavath. And I'm asking my team we actually build some smaller games for Steam. This one, I said, let us finish them out within this week. Like, take a break from this, at least for the core aspects of it. Wherever the bugs issue and this thing is there, let those devs follow that. But other teams, like the art and design team and everything, let us build something very fast, like a game jam within ourselves, and then ship out fast. It also helps us actually to showcase more products to showcase on our Steam, and also whatever downloads we get from that will trickle down to the same studio coming up with a new game. So this one, it also helps us in marketing in a way for that. Post that, it's going to be the 16 Heroes target launch for early access launch for June 2025. That will be the deadline, and for that, at least 2 months before, we need to have a good playtest model for us to start playtesting. So I think that next 3-4 months will be focused on that, getting the heroes shipped them fast and this one. So we've recently raised a pre-seed round 3 months back with Succeed India and Mage Hold Singapore and Mage Spire Singapore actually being part of it. Actually, it's a limited round of 1.8 crores, and but this is to more like to sustain the pipeline what we have right now, to keep on building and get to the early access this one. We're looking to raise a larger round to fast track the scale the pipeline actually, to bring the characters out fast. Once we achieve the product in the early access the good results and everything, then this will help us actually scale up faster to reach out to larger audience and maintain the servers and actually make them play for us and build a larger community before the season 0, which I think so early 2026, first quarter of 2026 actually.